Hello and welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but will be around for the entire session to answer any questions you may have. My name is Jenny and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. However, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. If you have a question for a specific school, you can let them know that in the Q&A, or you can ask a general question to all the schools. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/WACAC. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Northern Arizona University.
Thank you very much. Let's see if we can share this screen here. From the beginning. Sorry about that. Here we go. And hopefully you can see everything here. Thank you very much for having us here tonight. My name is Betsy Rugg-Stassen. I'm regionally based for Northern Arizona University in San Diego County, California. NAU is located up in the mountain town of Flagstaff, Arizona at 7,000 feet high within the largest ponderosa pine forest in the world, home to the lumberjacks. Flagstaff is the only major city in Arizona that has never reached 100 degrees. Flagstaff can get up to 80 inches of snow a year, but it melts very quickly with that high elevation and because the days are just as sunny as California and Nevada. It's a cultural and historic college town, just a few minutes walk from campus with about 75 great restaurants within walking distance. About 2 hours north and uphill from Phoenix, only an hour and a half south of the Grand Canyon, and the closest university to the Grand Canyon, and 45 minutes from Sedona, Arizona. And if you like being outside, there's the Snow Bowl nearby for skiing and snowboarding, plus hiking, biking, camping, fishing, and running. Flagstaff has one of the best urban trail systems and the #1 men's cross-country team in the U.S. About 20% of our students are from California and Nevada. 34% total are from out of state, and 10% of our students are transfer students. We have 15 NCAA Division I athletics, plus more than 400 clubs and activities to get involved in. The average class size is about 28. 80% of our classrooms seat fewer than 50 students. We're known for majors like English, engineering, construction management, forestry, anthropology, business, dental hygiene, and hotel and restaurant management, but all of our 100 majors are not impacted at all. Internships and research are encouraged and readily available in all majors, and we have an extensive study abroad program as well too. You'll be considered for admission if you have at least a 2.5 core high school GPA and no more than one deficiency in any 2 areas of these 14 high school college prep courses, and at least a 2.5 cumulative college GPA. We're on rolling admission, so our transfer application for fall 2024 will be open until early August. If you've earned an associate's degree with at least a 2.0 GPA, we can usually waive that final high school transcript for you. If you've completed less than 12 credits after high school graduation, you actually would be considered a first-year student. Our transfer application process takes less than a half hour to complete. All we require are your final high school transcript and college transcripts, and they can be totally unofficial for evaluation purposes. After an application is complete, you should receive a decision within 2 to 3 weeks, and your transfer credit evaluation is completed for you, so you can see that within a week after your admission, so you see what transferred into NAU. Prospective transfer students are encouraged to check out our JAX Path. It's a user-friendly online transfer articulation guide to see how your courses transfer to NAU, where you can view the progression plan of your intended major or compare the progression plan of other majors as well too. NAU is also an Western Undergraduate Exchange College, also known as a WUI University, one of the many public state universities in the West that has a reduced tuition for California and Nevada students. Hopefully that's easy to see those states in yellow on this kind of unique map that we have here. That WUI tuition applies to all NAU degree programs on our Flagstaff campus, and every admitted California and Nevada transfer student automatically receives that reduced WUI tuition rate. NAU's total cost per year for WUI students is under $36,000, comparable to all the UCs. The WUI tuition rate is a savings of over $10,000 a year compared to non-resident tuition, and there's no additional application to apply for the WUI. In addition to that automatic WUI tuition rate, Phi Theta Kappa member students can also receive up to a $6,000 scholarship each year for 2 consecutive years at NAU. We also have need-based awards as well for transfers up to $4,000 each for 2 years, as well as our California to the number 2 NAU scholarship. Those scholarships are separate from any additional financial aid that students also may receive. We encourage all transfer students to complete the FAFSA and search our site for additional scholarships to apply for. For transfer students who wish to start at one of our California community colleges that we have partnerships with in SoCal, these are the only seven right now colleges that we do have that connection with. Transfer Jacks is part of our transfer and online connections, and it's a great way to get involved and meet other transfer students at NAU to make the most of your transition and all those resources and support. They go on a lot of trips to the Grand Canyon, and they take other local trips off campus close by as well too. There's career advising resources, transfer specific space on campus in our transfer student lounge. Housing on campus is limited for transfers, so I tell students to apply early for on-campus housing, but we have lots of available housing very close to campus too on our Louie's list. The best way to experience NAU in any college is in person. So if you have that chance to visit Flagstaff, you can have a tour. Our special transfer events are NAU's Transformation Day every April. Our virtual Transfer Fridays are once a month, and there's a Transfer Visit Day every November as well too. So please feel free to reach out to me or one of our other transfer team members from your region. And if you have any questions about becoming a future transfer jack, and I'll share my information with you all in the chat, you can also keep connected with NAU on social media as well too. Thank you, and go Lumberjacks. I think we're going to stay in the West as well too, up to Montana, I believe.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you so much. Up next, we have University of Montana.
Hi, thank you all for being here, taking some time to learn more about some really awesome schools. My name is John Malora with the University of Montana. We're located in Missoula, Montana. Before I continue too much further, wanted to give you a chance to scan the code to receive some more information from us over email or text, whatever you prefer. I'll give you a few seconds to do that, and I will have the code a few more times throughout the presentation. Great, thank you. And so Montana is, of course, over in the Western Hemisphere in the United States. Missoula, Montana is a town of about 90,000 people right in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. So you'll see that Bear Paw in the western portion of the state. That's where we're located. We're about an hour from the border of Idaho. As you can see, it's a very scenic place to be. This is a lovely photo from Mount Sentinel. On the left down there, you'll see an image of our campus, the Oval and the Great Main Hall there. Over to the right, past the Clark Fork River that runs right through Missoula, is a bunch of buildings that makes up downtown Missoula. So really beautiful place to be. This is right in your backyard in Missoula. Great time to be there. Some school and some academic parts that we're really proud of. Our wildlife biology program has been rated #1 in the nation several times and is currently still high ranking in the nation for wildlife biology. Our College of Business is competitive with schools in the Big Sky Conference, so a lot of schools all over the Western states. Our acting and theater program is very prevalent, and we're very proud of our recent alumnus Lily Gladstone, who received the first Golden Globe for Best Actress for an Indigenous woman. So the first Indigenous person to receive that award. So we're super proud of Lily, wanted to shout her out today. We're also nationally ranked in our journalism school. So that's been rated top 10 in the nation several times. And has a lot of great opportunities. Graduates from the journalism school are actually required to be published writers before they leave. So that's a pretty neat note. We also have a brand new criminology degree that was just created and accredited by some of our sociology and criminology professors here on campus. So it's really fresh, really new. And if you're interested in criminology, it could be a super awesome option for you. Cost of attendance at the University of Montana, for most folks looking at the non-resident number in the center of 31,622. Residents at 8,152. The WUI students that you see on the right there, our WUI exchange is for the same states you saw on the last presentation. So any states generally west of the Dakotas onward. You basically are receiving 1.5 times the in-state tuition at the University of Montana, or an equivalent of $18,888 per year. The number you see in the center for housing and food, if you are planning to be in dorms, that's based on a double standard dorm room and a middle of the road expense dining plan from among our options. For scholarships, we are looking at, again, the WUI, but also we offer an incoming student scholarship for all new admits, including transfer students here. So this is our transfer scholarship. No additional steps to receive this. Upon being admitted to you're considered for this and automatically applied to this chart here. So your cumulative college GPA will match up with the amounts listed here. The 3.5, for example, if I have a 3.5 or above cumulative college GPA coming to I'm eligible to receive 12,500 or 2,500, depending on my residency. If I'm coming from a non-resident state, I get that amount, that 12,500 for all 4 years, as long as I'm a full-time student, or really for the duration of your time there, depending on how much you have left. So as long as you're a full-time student and maintain above a 2.0 college GPA, you will have that award coming to you. The same can be said for the WUI tuition. If you have above a 3.5 and you are a resident of a WUI state, you will receive that award automatically upon your admission and keep it with you. Some things I wanted to point out about the admissions process to keep in mind when applying. We do accept common applications, and my biggest recommendations are completing the application and submitting it as soon as you can. And once that's complete, making sure that you get your final official transcripts from the college or colleges that you've attended sent directly from your schools or school to our office to make sure that we can complete the evaluation of your application. Once those 2 steps are done, the application's in, transcripts are in, we will do a final evaluation of your application and also an evaluation of all your credits and how they transfer to and we will notify you of that. If you have any concerns or questions about your credits before you're admitted, you can use transferology.com, which we highly recommend as an alternative to have kind of a preliminary glimpse at how your credits will transfer. So thank you for your time today. If you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat. And I will leave this here too for you to scan before we move over. Great. Well, thank you all so much.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We'll keep it going right along with Willamette University.
Wonderful. And Jenny, you said it correctly. My name is Ryan Wegerson. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Senior Associate Director of Transfer Admission for Willamette University. Willamette is a great fit for a student who's looking for a tight-knit community. We have about 1,400 undergraduate students on our campus and about 12 students on average in each classroom. We're located in beautiful downtown Salem. And one thing that really makes our campus unique is that the campus is kind of sandwiched in between 2 really great internship options. We're across the street from the state capital of Salem, and Willamette students are able to obtain 80% of the internships that are offered at the state capital. We also have the 2nd largest hospital in the state of Oregon, right across the street on the south end. So that also provides a lot of internship opportunities for students who are looking to do pre-health in biology or to study public health. In addition to that, we're located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. So Salem is close to mountains, rivers, and of course the coast. And I highly recommend, if you have not been to Oregon, definitely come visit us. Students in California can receive a voucher if they'd like to come visit. Willamette is a 4-year private liberal arts college. Fun fact is that Willamette was actually the first university established west of the Mississippi. So we've been a university since before California, Washington, or Oregon were even official states in the United States. Our first graduate was a woman. We have 54 undergraduate majors and programs, and the school is really supported by 4 professional colleges. We have a College of Law, the Atkinson School of Business, which has the #1 MBA program in the state of Oregon. We have a College of Computing and Data Science, as well as the Pacific Northwest College of Art in Portland. So in addition to our wonderful liberal arts programs, we also have those available to really support students in those different academic areas of study. Our curriculum is really flexible, so it really allows students to explore interdisciplinarily. So they can have their major, but they'll also have lots of opportunity to take classes in many other different fields of study. They can minor or even double major, which is super common at Willamette University. We're one of the 40 colleges that change lives. So if you have a chance to take a look at that list, I highly recommend that you look at the colleges on that Colleges That Change Lives list. Those colleges are really well known for providing a lot of experiential learning, being student focused and student centered, and also for promoting interdisciplinary study. Willamette also has a really fantastic career development office. So even though we're a pretty small campus, we have 10 advisors that are helping to support our students in their career development goals. One thing that I always want to advise students on when they're looking at the transfer process is to just make sure that you're meeting with an advisor. Meet with your advisor both at your community college or at your current institution, but also meet with the advisor with the schools that you are looking to transfer to. We really want to make sure that the process is smooth for you. And we know that there's always lots of questions and unknowns that come up, and we want to make that easier for you. For Willamette, our application deadline for the fall is April 15th, but it's rolling after that until our spaces are filled. So we usually stop the application process in the middle of July. For spring, the application deadline is November 1st. We use a holistic review process. So of course, we're looking at your grades, but we're also looking at whether you challenged yourself. We're looking at your life experiences, your writing, as well as the different activities you're involved in. We want to know that you're going to make a really wonderful potential contribution to our campus, because that community is so important to us. One thing that's really important for transfer students to look at is whether their credits are going to transfer to the institution that they're looking at. Willamette does accept up to a maximum of 64 semester or 96 quarter units. If you have completed an associate's degree, you will automatically come in with junior standing. And with that admission letter that comes in, you'll also receive a preliminary transfer credit evaluation that tells you the number of credits that we'll accept, as well as how those courses fit into the general education requirements. In addition to that, later on, you can also meet with a faculty advisor to identify additional major requirement courses that would transfer into Willamette. Willamette is very generous in their financial aid. So we are the #1 most socioeconomically diverse university in the Pacific Northwest. So all these scholarships can be stacked. We have merit scholarships ranging between $25,000 and $33,000. A Phi Theta Kappa scholarship, as well as some additional competitive and endowed scholarships that students can receive. The average aid package for fall 2023 was about $43,000, both in scholarships, in grants, and in loans. I want to encourage all of you as you're in this process, if you're looking at Willamette University, my primary focus is on working with transfer students. So if you'd like to meet with me, I'd be happy to go over your unofficial transcript and just take a look at where you're at and discuss that transfer admission process to try to ease some of those concerns and anxiety that kind of goes along with this. We'd really love to welcome you to the Bearcat family. In the meantime, I'm going to pass it on to my colleague at Westminster University.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to use that Q&A function. Now on to Westminster University.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, there we are. Okay. Hello. So my name is Kyle McKim. I am the Assistant Director of Admission over Transfer Enrollment at Westminster University. You might have heard of Westminster College. That's previously what we were. We very recently shifted into university, just so you know. So we are located in Salt Lake City, Utah. Technically, we are in a neighborhood called Sugar House, which is about 4 miles out of Salt Lake. But we're kind of right in the heart of where all the action happens within Utah. Beyond that, though, we are about 5 hours away from all of the big 5 state parks in Utah, as well as about 40 minutes away from, I think it's about 8 different ski and snowboard resorts for some of the best snow on Earth, even this year, even this winter. We are a private, independent liberal arts university. We're the only liberal arts university in the state of Utah. Just to kind of give you a glance at what Westminster is, just about half of our entire student body is coming from outside of the state of Utah. We have some international students. We are a fairly tight-knit school, so most every class you will take at Westminster will have fewer than 19 students. Our average class size hovers right around 12. Now, your mileage may vary, of course, but generally speaking, no class will be larger than 20 students. Now, the W Core for us is our version of general education classes. Granted, if you are coming in as a transfer student with an associate's or really just any given amount of credits, you might cover most of this. The reason why I wanted to show this is for the one world experience. So for us, that looks like May term. Now, regardless of how many gen eds you're coming in with, we require through a student's time here a total of 6. So no matter where you're at, we'll get you caught up and focused on your primary plan of study, as well as more than likely a May term. So for us, May term, as the name implies, happens during the month of May. We offer many classes on campus that you can take, as well as study abroad programs. So if you wanted to study abroad, but the concept of being gone for an entire semester is a little bit daunting, May term is a really great way to do that. You have the option to get out, see some parts of the world if you want to. We'd also love to see you still on campus. Now, you only need to do May term 1 time, but many students do it 2 or even 3 times in their time at Westminster. Similar to what you've heard, we accept up to a total of 88 transfer credits. Now, in order to see this, we would need your official transcripts from any other institution. Once we receive your transcripts, which can be sent either electronically or through the mail, whatever your other institutions prefer. Generally, it takes our office about 2 days to work through that. And then you'll get from us what's called a transfer credit evaluation. So we'll tell you roughly where those credits fall for our classes, as well as how many credits you'll be coming into Westminster with. Now, for being a smaller liberal arts university, we have quite a few majors. And I think that oftentimes it can be kind of hard to understand what a liberal arts school is. We do much more than just art. One thing that I want to point out on this screen is our customized option. So if nothing on here is really grabbing your attention, you have the opportunity here at Westminster to completely customize a major that is literally tailor-made to you. So to give you an example, the outdoor education and leadership program, which is in that 3rd column over, somebody created that. That started as a customized program and became so popular that we run it as a full-time course of study. We are a D2 school, which means we can offer athletic scholarships, and we have a total of 15 NCAA teams, as well as competitive club sports, such as snowboarding. Now, apart from majors, we have other ways for you to get involved, other kind of programs that are sort of, I guess, extra or co-curricular. First Scholars and McNair Scholars are excellent for first-gen students. Opportunity Quest is great if you have a business idea. It's kind of like a Shark Tank. And then the Great Salt Lake Institute, we actually work with NASA. We go out to the Great Salt Lake and have a partnership and share our data, share what we find. Additionally, and as transfer students, you know this, that there are many, many supports built into schools for you. You are never alone, and that is certainly the case at Westminster as well. There are many services here for you. Now, as far as scholarships, for Westminster, this is based on your GPA largely. It ranges from 15,000 up to 24,000 per year, with an additional 3,000 for PTK members, as well as other need-based and talent-based scholarships. Our application process, as others have mentioned, fairly straightforward. Again, really, we just need your transcripts and we can get you going. I am the one and only person at Westminster who works with transfer students. I would love to connect with you, reach out. I have a calendar on the website, and I would love to chat either virtually or in person. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Up next, we have University of the Pacific.
Good evening, everybody. Give me one moment to share screen here. Let me share screen. Close that. And move you. Here we are. Thank you, everybody. I'm excited to be here representing my alma mater, my current place of employment, and also where I study for my master's program. My name is Amanda Laris, and I am the Assistant Director for transfer undergrad admissions at the University of the Pacific. So we'll jump right in. Some of you may know this, and if not, I'm happy and proud to say Pacific is California's first private university. We are the oldest chartered institution in the state of California. So we're very proud of that, and we like to continue with some traditions while still creating new opportunities as a community.
Amanda,
We are
you're not
located.
up.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The presentation's not up.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me see what's going on here.
No.
Present. I could have shared screen.
There we go. It's your background right now, but yeah, should be
Yes,
there.
it is. Sorry, you all.
No, you're all good.
Oh, and where did my presentation go? You know, I know enough about my alma mater that we can just talk about it. That works for 6 minutes for me. Again, so our main campus for undergraduate transfer students is located in Stockton, California. So we're in the middle of the Central Valley. We're about an hour south of Sacramento, so California state capital. We are very close to San Francisco, where we have our second campus, and then third campus is also in Sacramento. So most of our undergrad programs do take place on the Stockton campus. Students often like to get away to San Francisco to check out the beach, or Northern California to check out some of the foothills and the mountains and see some snow during the colder months. We have over 80 plus majors and programs that take place on our Stockton campus. So lots of opportunities for students. We do have a very small knit community. Our class sizes average is 14-to-1 ratio. And so students are really having an intimate setting with their professors, who some of them are also their academic advisors and chairs of our department. So a lot of support in the classroom with our faculty in multiple spaces for our students. Our transfer students, 100% of them are considered for merit scholarships. During the application process, we do have a rolling application process. We will evaluate applications into early August. In some cases, we do have transfer students who definitely are a couple days into the school year. So it is myself and my director, Shannon Rosencrantz, and we work directly with our transfer students on that application process. We will accept up to 70 transferable units if it's community college units. If you have attended a previous four-year institution, we will accept up to 90 units. We are open to receiving those transcripts prior to an application, reviewing them for preliminary articulations, and looking at what that potential degree progress would look like. Once you do submit an application, we do automatically articulate that and get that information to you to consider. An average four-year individual financial aid offer for students is about $170,000. That's federal grants, state grants, Tiger scholarships, and also loans for our students. In 2022, Wall Street Journal did rank us top 100 universities to attend. We are a D1 school. We have 17 different Division I athletic teams. We also, first timer, sorry guys, if you have any questions or concerns, please drop them in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and leave my contact information for the night in the chat also. And then, yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And that goes for all the schools. You know, all the contact info is in the chat. If you want to get in contact with the schools, please do. They are so happy to help you and give you more information about their institutions and help you along in that transfer process. So now I'm going to ask all of our institutions here back on the screen. We have some time for some Q&A tonight. So we'll go ahead and get started with that in just a moment. All right, so our first question for the evening is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So you all have helped many students through this process, maybe thinking specifically transfer students for this. What advice would you give those students who are looking, going through this transfer process right now? And we'll go in the same order, starting with Northern Arizona University.
Yeah, that's a good question. What advice would I give them? I think one of the main things is if you have the opportunity to visit that college campus, if you can, whether, it might be far away, there's so many great virtual tours or sometimes virtual videos that are posted, or you can see like what the honors college looks like, or if you're looking at a certain department, it might be like the business department too. So if you can't directly get to that university, sometimes you can visit them virtually as well too. A lot of things are right on that college website as well too. But of course, if you can visit in person, that's the best way to see if you're planning to go in person versus online, to just see them in person if you can.
Hello, everyone. Just to second what Betsy said about visiting the school is obviously a great idea. I think one of the things that we talk a lot with our applicants about is just finding the place that's right for them. More than anything, students should find a school where they're going to be comfortable. They're studying something that they're passionate about, and they know that the faculty has their back. And so really finding the right school depends so much on the individual student. And we're always happy to talk through those options with students. I think having an open dialogue, and especially one that is really about finding the right spot for the student to land, even if it's not at which is, makes us very sad when that happens. But, it's ultimately, no one wants someone who doesn't want to be where they're at, so yeah.
Thanks.
That's all such great advice. I just want to add, give yourself plenty of time to make this decision. Deciding where to transfer, it's a big one. Decide what things are make or break for you, what things are super important to you in this college experience, and definitely explore all options. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so right along with the explore all of the options, I would say don't, I guess, sell yourself short, right? Like if there's a school that for whatever reason feels like it's one you want to explore, don't let like one thing, maybe hold you back from checking it out. remember that you are at the exploration phase. You know, like it certainly does not hurt to give someone a call and see if they've got some information for you.
Yeah, these are wonderful points. I think I would, say similar to Kyle, don't self-eliminate, whether that be an application to a scholarship, an application to a specific type of institution, or maybe finding that right major, right? I think self-elimination can cause a lot of hindrance for students. And so I would encourage you all to just know that where you've been in your story, it matters, and where you're going is filled with opportunities.
All right, that's all great advice. Thank you so much. I think when we're talking about visiting too, talk to students. Talk to students if you're on that campus, see how they like it. Maybe you can connect with the admissions office and talk to other students who did transfer in and what was that decision like? Why did they make that decision? One thing I did was just like take my homework and go sit on the, in the student union of the campus that I was looking at, and like, what is that vibe like? Can I see myself like, studying there for, however many hours a day? So there's so many different, great ways to get involved. And even if you can't visit, you can still contact these lovely admissions officers, and they will definitely connect you with students if you're interested in like asking those questions to students directly. They'll help get you in contact as well. So our next question for the evening is, what is one thing you want students to remember about your school? I know we only got so much time, tonight to go through things. So if there's one thing that you want students to remember as they are heading out of this webinar, what would that be? And we'll go in that same order.
Well, I kind of put my background up to show you that we are in the not hot part of Arizona. I think that's one thing I'm always trying to tell families and students when they come by my table or whatever. They're like, oh no, it's going to be hot or whatever. No, it's not hot. In fact, I was on campus last week and it was snowing a little bit as well too, but I stayed over the weekend and it was 50 and gorgeous and sunny in Sedona when I was visiting Sedona too. So I think that's the main thing. I know it's not so much about admissions and the academics and everything too, but it shows you that there's many different parts of the country you can go to that aren't too far or farther away, and different weather as well too.
Yeah, I think the one thing I want to share that I think is best to leave with is just our layers of community. I really feel them reverberate outward from our campus all through Missoula. I myself moved out here 6 years ago and forged so many new friendships that really augmented me as a person and helped me feel enriched as a student, but also as an individual. I think the amount of community events, whether it's music, arts, outdoor recreation, happening in Missoula on campus are really amazing to be a part of as you pursue your studies.
One thing that I would just like to highlight about our campus is that we have wonderful dual enrollment programs or dual degree programs where you can finish your bachelor's in 3 years and then go on to one of our wonderful graduate programs like data science, computer science, our business MBA degree, or even the law program. So definitely take those into consideration because they can be a wonderful value and allow you to graduate with 2 degrees in a much shorter amount of time.
Yeah, so this feels kind of like a cliche to say, but at Westminster, you're going to be known. I mean, your professors, I guarantee you, are going to know your name, which could be kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, if you're not in class, your absence might be felt. But I work with the nursing department, just as an example, and the director of our program gives out his personal cell phone number to every prospective student that he meets. They want to get to know you.
Yeah, and so for University of the Pacific, again, it's community, right? Having that small sense of community and that support is something that we like students to know. I also, on top of that, believe that if a student reaches out and hears stories from a Pacifican, you come to find that they're very transformative and that experiential learning is very robust at Pacific, and it also tons of opportunities.
Fantastic. I love facilitating these. It makes me like want to go to all the campuses and I'm like, oh, I'm going to try that degree and I want to do that activity. So yeah, it's fantastic schools here tonight. Thanks so much. We have time for one more question. So this one is, what is one myth that you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process or maybe the transfer process here? What's one myth in this process that you'd like to debunk? And I know this one sometimes is the more tricky question for the end. We save it. So if we want to go, just whoever has an answer, feel free. Go ahead.
Sure. I'll start. I think one of the myths to debunk about transferring is how it's going to be like a real clunky and very hard process to do. As you met with all of us here tonight, some of us specialize in transfer admissions. So try to make sure that you can reach out to that particular transfer counselor just to make it not so complicated. Some schools like NAU, we just need your transcripts. There's and many other schools too, maybe not a recommendation letter or a personal statement as well too. So it doesn't have to be difficult as well too, especially if you can reach out to, and you've got wonderful resources right here as well from all of us as well too. We can put you in touch with if there's a transfer counselor for your particular area as well too. But yeah, and obviously just from us being here tonight, obviously we have that dedication to transfer students too. Your needs are very different from first year students, and we recognize that too. I could see that with all of us here tonight presenting. So yes, we want to. You have different needs from first year students, but very important needs as well too. So just reach out to those counselors. We're here to help.
I think one of the big ones, and this goes for students who are non-traditional students who have been in the workforce for a long time and decide to go back to school. Maybe they have some credits right out of high school. And so many of the students that I speak with on certain days, they worry so much about their GPA or how these credits are going to transfer. And the one thing I just want those students to know is that everyone in our office, and this is true for most admission offices, in my experience, we're invested in your success and making sure that you find the right school and the right fit for you and where you're going to flourish. Yeah, it's not a cynical kind of job that we do. It's really about having a love for education and making those opportunities available for everyone.
I'll keep this very brief. And I know that a couple of my colleagues in here will certainly agree. One myth that I'd like to bust is that private schools are not affordable. They absolutely can be affordable. Please keep those in mind. Thank you.
That's a good one. I like that. One thing I'll say, and this is just building on what everyone has said already, but I promise you, there is no like one right golden pass that any school is looking for. I mean, there's no, certain class that you should have taken. There's no certain credits that you should come in with, no certain age that you need to be. Whatever your story is, schools are there to meet you. So you don't have to fit into a mold. Bring yourself.
Right, fantastic. Any last thoughts before we wrap up? No, all righty, then I'll go ahead and close us out here, saying thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. So we'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. And we encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions that are happening right after this one. And you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/WACAC. Thank you very much for joining us tonight and best of luck in your transfer process. Have a good evening.
Thank you.